You think you know what friendship means, until your best friend drops her baby in your arms at midnight and disappears. I was 23 when that happened to me. I thought I was helping for a weekend. It turned into 5 years that changed everything I thought I knew about love, loyalty, and letting go. My name is Maya Carter. I'm 28 now, but this all started 5 years ago. It was raining that night. I remember the knock on my door, fast, desperate. I opened it and there was Jenna, my college best friend, drenched, mascara running, holding a 6-month-old baby boy in a faded blue blanket. She whispered, almost shaking, "Maya, I can't do this. Please, just keep him for tonight. I need to figure things out." I didn't ask many questions. I just took the baby, Caleb, into my arms. He smelled like baby powder and rain. I thought, one night. I can do one night. I had no idea that one night would turn into years. Back then, I was living in a tiny studio apartment in Seattle, working part-time at a bookstore and chasing an internship in journalism. My life was all deadlines and coffee, no diapers, no lullabies. That first night I sat on the floor with Caleb asleep in my lap, surrounded by piles of unpaid bills and a laptop blinking with unfinished articles. I told myself Jenna would be back in the morning. She wasn't. The morning turned into a week. The week stretched into a month. I bought a second-hand crib that barely fit next to my bed. I learned to warm bottles at 3 a.m., rock him back to sleep, type one-handed while bouncing him on my knee. I called Jenna, texts, voicemails. She always said she was sorting things out. Then she stopped answering. By Caleb's second birthday, my savings were gone. Diapers, doctor visits, a daycare deposit, they all added up. I started freelancing late at night, proofreading blogs, ghostwriting ads just to pay rent. I gave up dating. I turned down internships because I couldn't leave Caleb with strangers. My friends went on trips. I stayed home making mac and cheese and reading Goodnight Moon for the 100th time. But when he laughed, that belly laugh, I swear it was like hearing sunlight. I told myself, Jenna just needs more time. She'll come back for him. She didn't. When Caleb turned 4, I moved us to a cheaper 2-bedroom apartment in Tacoma. I finally landed a remote junior editor job. It wasn't glamorous, but it kept the lights on. Our life became small but sweet, Saturday picnics at the park, bedtime stories under a leaky ceiling fan. Everyone assumed I was his mom. Sometimes I let them think that, because by then, I almost believed it myself. Everything changed on a rainy Tuesday evening. I came home balancing groceries, and there she was, the Jenna, sitting on the stairs like a ghost from my past. She looked polished, healthy, expensive even, nothing like the broken girl I'd last seen. She smiled, as if 5 years hadn't passed, and said, "Maya, I'm ready to be Caleb's mom again. I'm sober. I've changed." I felt my heart sink. She hadn't called for his birthdays, his first steps, his first day of school. I told her, carefully, "You can't just walk in and erase the last 5 years." She folded her arms. "He's my son. You've had your turn." My world tilted that night. 2 weeks later she came back, this time with a fiancé named Ryan and typed custody papers. Jenna's voice was cold, "Sign these or we go to court. I'm taking him by the end of the month." I stared at the papers, hands shaking. I couldn't afford a lawyer. I couldn't imagine losing the little boy who called me Mommy Maya. Caleb overheard more than I thought. One night he crawled into my lap and asked, "Mommy Maya, why does Jenna say she's my mom? Don't you want me anymore?" That question broke something inside me. I decided to fight. I started a fundraiser for legal fees. Strangers online donated after hearing our story. In court, Jenna painted herself as a heartbroken mother who had entrusted her baby to me temporarily. My lawyer argued I was Caleb's psychological parent, the only stable caregiver he'd ever known. Then came the twist. Ryan, her fiancé, admitted under oath that Jenna hadn't been in rehab like she claimed. She'd spent 2 years in Vegas finding herself, barely checking in at all. The courtroom went silent. Jenna's perfect story crumbled. The judge ordered a custody evaluation. They asked Caleb, gently, who he wanted to live with. He fiddled with his shoelaces, then whispered, "I want to stay with Mommy Maya, but I can visit Jenna." I'll never forget the look on Jenna's face, shock, then anger, then tears. The judge ruled that Caleb would live primarily with me, and Jenna would have supervised visits for 6 months. Walking out of the courthouse that day, Caleb held my hand tight and said, "I told the truth. I'm glad I don't have to move." I finally let myself cry. Things aren't perfect. Jenna's visits are irregular. Ryan's no longer in the picture. But Caleb's thriving. I finished my journalism certification and now work as a full-time writer. Sometimes, late at night, I think about the girl I was at 23, who opened the door to a desperate friend and a tiny baby. I lost years of my own life, but I gained a son in every way that matters. If you've ever carried someone else's burden or loved a child who wasn't yours, you know the weight and the joy of it. Share your story in the comments. And stick around, because you won't believe what Jenna tried next.